Hello and welcome everyone to the best Let's Play we have ever done. It's me, and it's Green Bean. Hello.
And we're Let's Playing horror German fairy tale stories.
Yes, we are Let's Playing German folklore stories that scarred me as a kid and that I wish I had never fucking read. So the way we are doing it is, I read it in German, then Green Bean reads it in English, then we make fun of it, and then we go to the next one, and that's how we're gonna go through them. This should not take too long, but let's read these. These are all from the same book, by the way, which, this is the name of the book. God forbid I can pronounce that because I can't. Which is also going to make reading this impossible. Either way, this is the foreword of the book. Wenn die Kinder artig sind, kommt zu ihnen das Christenkind. Wenn sie ihre Suppe essen und das Brot auch nicht vergessen. Wenn sie ohne Lärm zu machen still sind in der Siebensachen. Beim Spaziergehen auf den Gassen von Mama sich führen lassen. Bringt es ihnen gut genug und ein schönes Bilderbuch. So that's the beautiful German, which you cannot see whether or not this was rubbish, and then he can read it in beautiful English.
Indeed. When children have been good, that is to be understood. Good at meal times, good at play, good at night, and good all day. They shall have the pretty things Merry Christmas always brings. Naughty romping girls and boys tear their clothes and make a noise, soil their aprons and their frocks, and deserve no Christmas box. Such as these shall never look at this pretty picture book.
So this one is actually not that bad because it's just a foreword. It's pretty much it's like it's the Christmas stories, but even then it's a bit more like, it's not like where like it like normally like Santa Christmas kind of thing where it's like, oh, if you're a douchebag you will not get anything. This is like, if you make noise, get the fuck out.
Yeah, it kind of is. What I find weird is this is supposed to be a book full of quote unquote educational tales, and so I don't get the idea because it sounds like they're saying if you don't, if you're noisy and shit, you don't get a look at
I
this
know
book.
does,
Fuck you.
it seems a bit weird anyway because all of these stories are supposed to be educational, while at the same time you don't get to read it if you're a bad guy. Maybe that's why Germany was so fucked up.
Maybe
Logic,
so.
it didn't make sense.
That explains everything.
Otherwise, we probably don't have too much to say on this one, so we will go to the next one, right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, we return with the second story, and probably the shortest and most boring story of this book. And for whatever reason, it's a cover story. Like, this is what the book is named after, so I don't know. We continue with German no logic.
Right.
Struwwelpeter. Siehe einmal, hier steht er, Pfui, der Struwwelpeter. An den Händen beiden ließ er sich nicht schneiden, seine Nägel fast ein Jahr. Kämmen ließ er sich nicht sein Haar. Pfui, ruft der eine jeder, Garster Struwwelpeter. Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
No
Yeah, it
websites.
really is short. I didn't even realize you were done reading it yet. So I'm going to be reading the translation by some dude because the one by Mark Twain is too hard to read.
Wait, I thought you were reading the one by Mark Twain.
Fine, I'll read the one by Mark
It's the
Twain.
best
He
one, I
just
think.
actually uses some German words, which is weird. See this frowny Krauter. See what? Pa. It's Struwwelpeter. Oh, his fingers rusty. Oh, his two head musty. Scissors seldom come. Let his talons grow a year. Do any loathe him? Some. They hail him modern satyr, disgusting Struwwelpeter.
Okay, you can read it from the anonymous random dude if that makes you happy now, so that people even know what you just said.
That's my point. I don't know what I just
You need
said.
to educate them in that, like, hi,
Yep.
something, hi people.
High English. That was High English, people, written by Mark Twain himself.
That is.
Oh. See, slovenly Peter. Here he stands with his dirty hair and hands. See, his nails are never cut. They are grimmed as black as soot. No water for many weeks has been near his cheeks. And the Sloven, I declare, not once this year has combed his hair. Anything to me is sweeter than to see shock-headed Peter.
See?
Uh,
Beautiful. It's exactly the same. I totally knew that's what they were saying. But I
exactly.
don't. This one is one of those stories that I really don't like. Even though it's literally the most harmless story in this book, I think. But
Yeah,
it's just. It's like, oh, you're disgusting because you don't follow all rules, so get the fuck out.
yeah.
Which I think
I mean,
every story here ends with get the fuck out.
yeah, pretty much so. But it is, I see what your point. Like, it is pretty much like, oh man, there's this ugly kid who doesn't like comb his hair and stuff, so he's a terrible person. But at the same time, it's just one of those weird things where it is like,
It's
I
not
don't know,
like,
it
oh,
doesn't.
throw sticks at him and break his bones or so anything like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah,
it's also like
exactly.
shun him because he's not like us. I never
Yeah.
like that. I mean, you could be arguing like, well, it's good to be clean, but I'm like, yeah, it's good to like be clean, but to be like, oh, he didn't comb his hair. So what? I don't comb my fucking hair. Get the fuck
Uh,
out.
yeah,
I've
seriously.
always hated that when they're like these social put standards of, oh, this is important.
Yeah, seriously. The only thing I can say is obviously the nail cut thing is an issue, but that's more of that's a personal issue as well. I don't think anyone would let their nails grow out like that because you know what, at that point you're probably gonna have some health problems due to that.
Which actually, yeah, you can see the image, which the image is amazingly beautiful, and I remember why this book gave me nightmares. Which I didn't really mention this up to now, but I kind of assumed people would just know. This book
Yeah.
is from like 1890, so don't take this as being modern German culture.
Yeah,
Even the
yeah.
version I read was probably from World War One, so it just for whatever reason my family had this book laying around, and for whatever reason they
Yeah.
made me read it, or at least they let me read it, which was the biggest mistake in history. This book is freaking stupid.
It's pretty stupid and indeed kind of horrifying. I would not want to see this guy when I was 6 years old.
But we have not reached the best story yet, which will not be the
Indeed.
next one, but join us on the next one because the next one has dogs, but no
Eh,
cats. So yeah. So we have reached the story of von den bösen Friedrich, or in German, die Geschichte von bösen Friedrich, which this one I actually don't mind that much. If I remember, it's pretty funny. Der Fried... Okay, let me, Der Friedrich, der Friedrich, das war ein ärgerer Wüterich. Er fing die Fliegen in den Haus und ritt ihnen die Flügel aus. Er schlug die Stühl und Vögel tot und Katzen littern großen... Okay, And we have now reached the story of the bösen Friedrich. I think I'm speaking half German, half English there. Point being, this is the story about the bösen Friedrich, which... This means he's the evil Friedrich, in case you didn't know what böse means. Die Geschichte von bösen Friedrich. Der Friedrich, der Friedrich, das war ein ärgerer Wüterich. Er fing die Fliegen in den Haus und riss ihnen die Flügel aus. Er schlug die Stuhl und Vögel tot, die Katzen lieden große Not. Und höre nur, wie bös er war. Er peitschte auch sein Rädchen gar. Am Wasser stand ein großer Hund und trank Wasser mit seinem Mund. Damit der Peitsche er zu sich schlich, der bitterböse Friederich, und schlug den Hund, der heult sehr, und trat und schlug ihn immer mehr. Da biss der Hund ihn ins Bein, recht tief bis in das Blut hinein. Der bitterböse Friedrich, der schrie und weinte bitterlich. Jedoch nach Haus lief der Hund und trug die Peitsche in den Mund. Ins Bett muß Friedrich nun hinein, litt viele Schmerzen an sein Bein. Und der Doktor sitzt dabei und gibt ihm bittere Arznei. Der Hund an friedlich Tischen saß, wo er den großen Kuchen aß, I don't know what that word is, aß auch die Leberwurst und trank den Wein für seinen Durst. Die Peitsche hat er mitgebracht und nimmt sie wirklich sehr in Acht. That was the most difficult poem in this whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty long, and I could tell that some of the words were hard, or they didn't even look English.
Well, in all
But
fairness though,
bravo
the
indeed.
one that I got stuck on actually
Mhm.
just means eat, but I just had probably never
Oh.
seen it in a really long time, and I don't think you write it like this anymore, because it's literally two
Mm.
letters now in this poem. A two-letter
That's
word. I have not seen that often.
interesting. Yeah,
Anyway, you can
that's
go
interesting.
tell them what happened in this amazing
I
story.
The story of cruel Frederick. I can't even read. This Frederick, a naughty, wicked boy was he. He caught the flies, poor little things, and then tore off their tiny wings. Jeez, Frederick is pretty skilled. He killed the birds
Was
and
that part
broke
of
the
the poem?
Huh?
Was that
No.
part of the poem? It's like, the guy's just like, oh man, this guy's amazing.
He's 10 out of 10. He can tear off flies' wings. It must be Mr. Miyazaki's nephew. He'd killed the birds and broke the chairs and throw the kitchen down the stairs.
The kitchen?
Oh, the kitten. Oops. Yes, he threw the kitchen. I thought you said there weren't any cats.
I didn't remember. The cat is not the main character in the story.
Yeah, it's fair. He just gets thrown down the stairs. And oh, far worse and worse, he whipped his good and gentle nurse.
I didn't even know
Jeez.
what Gretchen meant. Like when in German, it named Gretchen. That's not a word I've ever heard in my life, other than this book. So when I read that, I didn't know who he whipped or what he whipped. I just assumed it was someone.
Yeah, guess he
Well, he's
whipped
pretty
his
kinky.
nurse. Indeed, seriously. Whipping nurses all the way back in like 1890. What a guy. The trough was full and faithful Trey came out to drink one sultry day. What?
Well, it made much sense in German, actually.
It did. That's good. He wagged his tail and wet his lip when cruel Fred snatched up a whip and whipped poor Trey till he was sore and kicked and whipped him more and more. At this good Trey was very red and growled and bit him till he bled. Then you should have only been by to see how Fred did scream and cry. So Frederick has to go to bed. His leg was very sore and red, and probably missing. The doctor came and shook his head, and made a very great to-do, and gave him bitter physic too. But good dog Trey is happy now. He has time to say, bow wow. He seats himself in Frederick's chair and laughs to see the nice things there. The soup he swallows, sup by sup, and eats the pies and puddings up.
That is actually way better in German.
Yeah.
Because in the German version, he eats the guy's Leberwurst. He eats the guy's sausage.
Yeah, I assume that's what that meant, actually, because I've seen a similar word, but...
Actually, I'd forgotten to put it in the English while you were reading it, so people were just seeing the German again, but you totally helped them follow along.
Totally so.
Here's the English version, in case you wanted, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the German version, it's just it's like, oh yeah, the dog sits in the guy's table, eats his cake, drinks his wine, eats his sausage, and has to live with him all the time. But I'm like, geez, this dog is so good. He knows a whip. He whips a housemaid or whatever.
That dog is pretty OP, jeez. And now they're gonna have to write a story about how the dog became a douchebag, and it's just gonna be like an endless cycle of new people becoming douchebags and gaining the power of the whip.
Which, as I mentioned in the story, well, I mean, the guy's like hardcore douchebag, but at least the story doesn't really insult me that much. They're still like, I mean, always like, oh, bad things happen to bad people, which I can't directly argue against. At least the lesson is based in something logical. It's not like the guy is being murdered for doing something really not that bad.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it is still a story that revels in the pain of someone.
Yeah, it does revel in the pain of someone, kind of. But I'll admit, yeah, this is probably the least bad one. Because as you said, like, this guy freaking tears wings off of insects somehow. He kills birds, breaks things, kills kittens, whips
but he didn't kill any kittens.
Well, okay,
he just used the kittens for his North Korean flight programs.
For punting practice, yeah. I'm sure it was fine after it rolled down those stairs.
Which actually didn't even say that in the German version.
Oh, that's
In
interesting.
German version, it just says that the kitten slid a lot. That's pretty much what I would translate to. That the kitten slid a lot under his reign, but not really that he throws them downstairs.
Oh, jeez. So that's interesting. We took some things out and added some things. This one's also probably the most violent one translated for some reason. Is apparently they added in that fact and the fact that he whips his nurse. I mean, I don't know that they added
But
that,
they
but
have
you
that
know,
in the
they
German
didn't
version. I just
censor
didn't know the
that.
word.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Right,
that word
right.
means nurse. But
Yeah.
I mean, they had to change a bit of a few things to make it rhyme. But for being, this story passes. I would not burn this story if I saw it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I would let people read the story and get a laugh out of how silly it is.
I think the next one, again, some of them are not that bad. The next one is, I think, okay too. Let's go to that one.
Alright.
Okay, I kind of saw that early, so you heard Greenbean say that he was ready, which is now the new mark of amazingness. So this story,
Indeed.
I don't remember. I remember it's sad, but I remember if it's insultingly sad. Sagen wir in German again. Die gar traurige Geschichte mit dem Feuerzeug. What the fuck is it with everyone in the story having impossible to pronounce names?
I don't know. That
Paulinchen.
is.
Like, I don't know, her name makes no sense to me. Either way, I will try. Paulinchen war allein zu Haus, die Eltern waren beide aus. Als sie nun durch das Zimmer sprang, mit leichtem Mut sing und sang, da sah sie plötzlich vor sich stehen, ein Feuerzeug, nett anzusehen. Ei, sprach sie, ei, wie schön und fein, das muss ein Spielzeug sein. Ich zünde mit den Holzlein ein, wie oft die Mutter hat getan. Und Minz und Maus, die Katzen erheben ihre Tatzen, sie drohen mit den Pfoten. Der Vater hat's verboten, miau, 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 lass es stehen, sonst brennst du lichterloh. Paulinchen hört den Katzen nicht. Okay, again, let me to say it again. Paulinchen hört die Katzen nicht. Das Häutchen brennt gar lustig hell und licht. Das flackert lustig, knistert laut, grad wie ihr auf dem Bilde schaut. Paulinchen aber freut sich sehr und sprang im Zimmer hin und her. Doch Minz und Maus, die Katzen erheben ihre Tatzen, sie drohen mit den Fohlen. Die Mutter hat's verboten, miau, 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 wirf's weg, sonst brennst du lichterloh. Doch weh, die Flammen fasst das Leid, die Schürze brennt, es leuchtet weit. Es brennt die Hand, es brennt das Haar, es brennt das ganze Kind sogar. Und Minz und Maus, die schreien, gar jämmerlich zu zwei, herbei, herbei, wer hilft geschwind, im Feuer steht das ganze Kind, miau, 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 so hilft, das Kind brennt lichterloh. Verbrannt ist alles ganz und gar, das arme Kind mit Haut und Haar, ein Häuflein Asche bleibt allein, und beide Schuhe so hüblich und fein. Und Minz und Mo so klein, die sitzen und weinen, miau, 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 wo sind die armen Eltern, wo? Und ihre Tränen fließen wie Bächlein auf den Wiesen. Beautiful.
Them cats.
Damn cats, OP. Neat.
Indeed. So as we're ready for mine.
Yeah, I need to move it to English so that people actually know what's going on.
Okay, sure thing.
Now we are ready.
Okay. The dreadful story.
I'm sorry, I couldn't fix it. Like, I'm pretty sure even the first line they already changed something. Yeah, okay, they already changed it a bit, but okay, it's okay. Go ahead.
Alright. The dreadful story of Pauline and the matches. And I don't know much about German, but I'd say Pauline is infinitely easier to say than,
Did you see the German name?
Yeah, I saw the German name. I don't even know what that was. Mama and the nurse went out one day and left Pauline alone at play. Around the room, she gay sprung. Clapped. I know that's not what it means anymore, but still.
She was
Clapped her
also pretty
hands
gay.
and danced and stuff. Well, yeah, for cats.
She's a woman.
Exactly. All women are proven to be lesbian for cats. It's a fact. Now
So
on the
that
table, close at hand, a box of matches, chances to stand. What was that?
It's not exactly how I meant it. I meant that, well, if she's gay, she just likes guys. That's how I meant it, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And kind mom and nurse had told her that if she touched them, they would scold her. But Pauline said, "Oh, what a pity, for when they burn, it is so pretty. They crackle so and spit and flame, and Mama often burns the same." Right?
What? I don't think that's what you meant to say, my good sir.
That's
Unless your
literally,
mother is magic. Maybe she's a
yeah,
phoenix.
maybe so. That's literally what it says. They crackle so and spit and flame, and Mama often burns the same. It literally says that. I don't know what it means, but I don't know. I'll just a match or two, as I have often seen my mother do. When Mins and Mons, the pussycats, heard this, they held up their paws and began to meow. They said, "Meow, meow. You'll burn to death if you do so. Your parents have forbidden you, you know." But Pauline would not take advice. She lit a match. It was so nice. It crackled so, it burned so clear. Exactly like the picture here. She jumped for joy and ran about, was too pleased to put it out. When Mins and Mons, the little cats, saw this, they said, "Oh, naughty, naughty miss." They stretched their claws and raised their paws. "'Tis very, very wrong, you know. Meow, 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 meow. You'll be burnt if you do so. Our mother has forbidden you, you know."
Wait,
Now
if it's
see,
our
oh,
mother, is the mother a phoenix combined with a cat?
jeez, her mother's just all of the mythical beings. I don't want to know what other things her mother has spawned. Uh, now see, oh, see what a dreadful thing the fire has caught. Her apron string. Her apron burns, her arms, her hair. She burns all over, everywhere. Then how the pussy cats did mew. What else could poor pussies do? I kind of fucked that up, but still. Another amazing, weird thing for reading these days. What else, poor pussies, could they do? They screamed for help, 'twas all in vain. "Aye, so then," they said, "we'll scream again. Make haste, meow, meow, she'll burn to death. We told her so." You sure did tell her so, I guess.
You got a cat. I don't think she can understand you. Which in this
That's-
story, it just says that she doesn't heed the advice. In the
Yeah.
first, in the German version, it kind of just says that she doesn't. It's not clear how that was meant. It kind of says, oh, she doesn't hear them, but it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't say whether or not she doesn't hear them because she doesn't care, or if it just said
Or-
she can't literally understand them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, she still was told not to do it either way.
Right, exactly. But I see your point. In the English version, they make it more clear that the cats were like, "Bitch, don't you do that." So she was burned with all her clothes and arms and hands and eyes and nose. Jesus. Till she
Said
had
that last
nothing
time,
more to lose. What?
Said that last time too, to that line.
Yeah, I think I did. It's fucking intense. Till she had nothing more to lose except her little scarlet shoes, and nothing else but these was found among her ashes on the ground. Wonder how her shoes survived. Apparently they were magical.
German shoes.
German shoes built to last. And when Head the good cat sat beside the smoking ashes, how they cried, "Meow, meow, meow, meow. What will Mama and Nursey do?" Their tears ran down their cheeks so fast, they made a little pond at last. Apparently,
So-
someone was waiting for them to make a pond. Because they just finally got to that shit.
But no, it's English. It's old English, but okay.
Yeah, I know, it's old English, but that's...
Which is funny. I would say in German it wasn't actually as awkward to read as the English translated was in the German.
Yeah, the meow meow bits were like some right
In German,
well,
it
but
actually sound kind of cool.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But in the English version, it sounds so dumb and weird, and it's like, jeez.
So, but yeah, this one isn't. Opinions on this one. You said you might not like this story as much.
I don't think I liked it as much as the last one, but admittedly, after reading it again, I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. Because, admittedly, like, burning to death, this is a bit of an extreme, but I see playing with matches being a bad thing and unsupervised. All right, yeah, you don't want children playing with matches, so,
I mean,
whatever.
it's an extreme way to get the point across. At least, the very least that you probably wouldn't
Yeah,
do that today anymore. Like you probably wouldn't be like, kids, don't play with fire, and then you turn on a video camera and show them a kid burning to death, and it's like that's why. Because this is the equivalent of that. I mean, this was
yeah,
before like
exactly.
movies or anything.
Right, it
And you
is.
have a
And
picture
like
of
I
a
said,
girl
like,
burning.
you do. You really do. And, like, I don't know how bad it is in the German version, but for the English version, that's why I said Jesus, because they say it so directly,
Actually, I think in
where,
German it's at least as bad, if not more so.
okay,
Because in
because,
German you have this line, well, let's see, where is this? Doch weh, die Flammen fasst das Kleid, die Schürze brennt, es leuchtet weit. Es brennt die Hand, es brennt das Haar, es brennt das ganze Kind sogar. So first it's like, oh yeah, it catches the dress, it catches the, I don't know what shirts there would be in English. And then like, oh yeah, it brings the hand, it brings the hair, it brings the whole kid. And then later it mentions, oh yeah, verbrannt ist das ganze verbrannt ist alles ganz und gar. Das arme Kind mit Haut und Haar. And then it just mentioned that the whole kid was like skin and hair burnt. So I mean, in a way it's less, in a way it's more. I don't know. I found the German one a bit more impactful, but maybe only because that's the one that I knew. Oh,
yeah,
because
makes
it's better.
sense. It's hard, yeah, maybe so. It's hard to say either way. This is a pretty intense story for once teaching a message that isn't retarded.
So we have two stories that actually weren't that bad so far.
Yeah, I'm
It's not all of these that are
surprised.
bad. There's mostly one story, which is why we are doing this. But overall, I still say there's not a book you should just hand a kid ever. I think even the good lessons you could teach in a better way. Exactly. My good lesson is fuck the internet.
Yeah, that's what the stories do. Did you pause it?
Not yet. I'm pausing it now. And now we've reached the story about black people, which has taught me to be so
Yay.
not racist, to never use the word nigger, you niggers.
I totally wouldn't do that.
Anyway, this
Admittedly, they were like, yeah.
this story is actually probably not that bad. I remember it not being that bad, at least in the lesson. Geschichte von den schwarzen Buben. Es ging spaziert vor dem Tor ein... What the fuck am I looking
Jesus,
at?
that is a long word. That thing would be like, I don't know, 7 syllables at
Jeez, that's the
least.
average German word to you. Es
Uh,
ging spaziert vor dem Tor ein kohlpechschwarzer Moor. Die Sonne schien ihm auf Gehirn. What? Die Sonne schien ihm aufs Gehirn. Da nahm er seinen Sonnenschirm. Da kam der Ludwig hergerannt und trug sein Pfännchen in der Hand. Der Kasper kam mit dem schnellen Schritt und brachte seinen Bretzel mit. Und auch der Wilhelm war nicht steif und brachte seinen runden Reif. Die schrien und lachten alle drei, als dort das Moorchen ging vorbei, weil er so schwarz wie Tinte sei. Da kam der große Nikolaus mit seinem großen Tintenfass. Der sprach, ihr Kinder, hört mir zu und lasst den Moor hübsch in Ruhe. Was kann dieser Moor dafür, dass er so weiß nicht ist wie ihr? Die Buben aber folgten nicht und lachten ihm ins Angesicht und lachten ärger als zuvor über den armschwarzen Moor. Der Nikolaus wurde bös und wild. Du siehst es hier auf den Bild. Er packte gleich die Buben fest, bei Arm und Kopf, bei Rock und West, den Wilhelm und den Ludwig, den Kasper auch, der wehrte sich. Er trunk die Tinte tief, wie auch Kasper Feuer rief. Bis übern Kopf ins Tintenfass tunkt sie der große Nikolaus. Du siehst sie hier, wie schwarz sie sind, viel schwärzer als das Mohrenkind. Der Moor voraus in Sonnenschein, die Tintenbuden hintendrein. Und hätten sie nicht so gelacht, hätte Nicholas sie nicht schwarz gemacht. A beautiful story talking about the acceptance of black people. And the only way you can accept black people.
Is by pouring tar on everyone. I guess we'll
Exactly.
see when we get to my end. But it certainly sounds interesting.
No, actually, I thought it was tar, it's only
Oh,
ink.
ink. Oh yeah, I think we just discussed that, like, you know, might as well be tar, because if you think about it, pouring ink over people probably isn't safe either. But,
Right,
you know.
I mean, it's not pouring
I don't
ink
think
over
the
people,
story
it's
delves into that.
dumping people into ink.
Right, right. The story of the Inky Boys makes me think of Pac-Man. As he had often done before, the woolly-headed blackamoor, one fine summer's day, went out to see the shops and walk about, and as he found it hot, poor fellow, he took with him his green umbrella. Then Edward, little noisy wag, little noisy wag. What?
But I was gonna say, like, how they could just call him a black dude. And in a German version, that you have a, like, 500 letter word.
I know, Jesus.
Because they combine, like, 4 different terms for black in there. They're like, oh, he looks like coal, he's black, he looks like ink, and he's a Moor, which Moors are like from a place. If that makes any sense. A Moor is a nationality, I think.
They want you to make sure, really sure that you understand that this kid is black. Just straight up super black. You cannot get
So he's
any
blacker
blacker.
than ice?
He's black. He's blacker than ice. Ran out and laughed and waved his flag, and William came in jacket trim and brought his woolen hoop with him, and Casper too snatched up his toys, but he was dead, so he didn't really get anywhere with that, and joined the other naughty boys, so one and all set up roar, and laughed and hooted more and more, and kept on singing, only think, oh Blackie, you're as black as ink.
Honestly, that's like the least insulting comment you could like. That's not so bad to say to someone.
That's still pretty funny. That's actually the way it's written in English. I could even, like, say that to someone. I should say that to someone of my friends. Just go and be like, "Oh, Blackie, you're black as ink."
I wish I had someone I could say that too without feeling like I insulted them. But I was gonna say the funny thing is when I read in German, I didn't even notice that. But it's interesting detail that they did at that time already know that black people were more prone to heat.
Huh.
Because that's why they have the umbrella thing. Like, I didn't get that the first time, but I'm assuming that's the idea. That he needs an umbrella because he's black, and you know the whole, the sun heats him up more idea.
Yeah, I get that. What I find interesting, this guy standing over an ink pot looks like a freaking wizard.
He's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus? Oh no.
I don't know if he's Saint Nicholas.
Look at his name. You're right, he is.
I don't get it either.
Okay, Saint Nicholas dumping kids into ink.
That's before he started saying you had to be good, or Jesus kid would not show up.
Now Saint Nicholas lived close by. Oh, leave? Yeah, it does say that. So tall he almost touched the sky. He had an almighty inkstand too. Wonder why. In which a great goose feather grew. Wait, it grew off the... whatever. He called out in an angry tone, "Boys, leave Blackamoor alone. For if he tries with all his might, he cannot... oh wait, I'm sorry, he's still talking. For if he tries with all his might, he cannot change from black to white." But they did not mind a bit what St. Linus said of it, but went on laughing as before, and hooting at the blackamoor.
Though I was gonna say, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the German doesn't really explain this either, though. I think in this one it comes even with weird. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he giant? Why does he have a giant, like, ink pot? And why does no one mind? Like, the kids are not terrified of him at all.
They aren't. You'd think this would be... you'd think this guy... guy would be the focal point of this story. I mean, considering they're scared of someone with, like, giant nails, I'd be horrified if there was just this giant dude with huge pop was, like, more than big enough to fit a full-grown man into.
Because in the German story, they never mention that he's big, but at the same time, he just does lift them up and put them in an ink pot. So he has to be huge, but they never mention that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh man, this guy is the OP. Then St. Nicholas foams with rage. You look at him when his very page. He sees his Casper, sees his Ned, takes William by his little head. Jesus. He just picks up the kid by his head. And that sounds even more horrifying. And they may scream and kick and call, but into the ink he dips them all. Into the inkstand, 1, 2, 3, till they are black as can be. Turn over now, and you shall see. See they are, and there they run. The blackamoor enjoys the fun. They've been made as black as crows, quite black all over, eyes and nose, and legs and arms and heads and toes, and trousers, pinafores and toys. The silly little inky boys, because they set up such a roar and tease the harmless blackamoor.
Right, it wasn't good that it lagged at that moment, so now you said they teat the harmless blackamoor. So they invented the teabagging.
They did indeed. That's what you get that's what you get if you teabag black people. You'll get thrown into an ink pot.
Guess it's another way to take the whole going black, never going back.
Indeed.
So this story again, I don't exactly oppose to the message, but it's such a fucking extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the worst crime they did was laugh at a guy for being black.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure I would have been put into ink before if making jokes on YouTube would be considered that.
Yeah, we probably both would have been, but more of what I was thinking was this one is especially weird because, like I said, most of them, at least the focal pointed guy, if there's a guy with huge nails or something, he's the but here it's just St. Nicholas, who is not only St. Nicholas, but he is a giant, who just happens to have a giant ink font and a giant pen.
Well, I guess that explains how he goes to every place in the same time. And at Christmas, because he's giant.
Yeah, apparently so. He's just
He doesn't even
big.
go through the whole chimney thing. He just whips off the roof, puts the presents, and then puts the roof back on.
Jeez, man, that's pretty metal. I want to see that version of a Christmas movie.
I so didn't. I'm surprised. The way he's dressed looks just weird to me.
Like I said, he looks like some kind of wizard.
But I mean, Saint Nicholas was a saint,
Right.
So, did saints dress like that back then? I mean, that's a weird complaint, but it just confuses me.
Yeah, no, I see your point. I mean, I almost immediately...
So I guess that explains the ink pot.
Oh,
I mean, you would say Christian people are normally well read and studied, and they probably write a lot, so I assume he wrote stuff, so that's why he's an ink pot. Why he's a giant ink pot, I don't know.
I see your point. Yeah, back in a long time ago, they did used to use, like, scribes for all their shit.
And scribes, you normally were religious, because it was only studied people.
Exactly.
So, what does this teach you? Don't be racist, or we're gonna get you. If you racist, boy, we're gonna put you on fire. We're gonna like burn you. See, maybe that's what the KKK meant when they weren't racist anymore. They know hunt racist people and put them on fire. They have advanced to the next level.
Man, makes sense to me. KKK has advanced to reverse racism.
See, it's also the future of all feminism.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, we will see you guys at the next story. Okay, Greenbean said that he remembers this one to be boring, so we have to see. It's been a few months since we read this. We had planned to do this for about a year almost now. Die Geschichte von den wilden Jäger. What the fuck, I can't read. Es zog der wilde Jägersmann sein grasgrünes neues Rocklein an, nahm ganzen Pulverhorn und Flint und lief hinaus ins Feld geschwind. Er trug die Brille auf der Nas und wollte schießen, tot der Has. Das, He das Häschlein sitzt im Blätterhaus und lacht den wilder Jäger aus. Jetzt schien der Sonn gar... I can't fucking read. Jetzt schien die Sonne gar zu sehr. Da ward ihm sein Gewehr zu schwer. Er legt sich nun ins Gras, das alles sehr der kleine Has. Und als der Jäger schnarft und schließt, der Has ganz heimlich zu ihm lief und nahm die Flint, auch die Brill, und schlich davon ganz leis und still. Die Brille hat der Häschen jetzt sich selber auf die Nase gesetzt, und schießen will er aus das Gewehr, der Jäger aber fürcht sich sehr. Er läuft davon und springt und schreit, zu Hilf ihr Leut, zu Hilf ihr Leut. Da kommt der wilde Jägersmann zuletzt beim tiefen Brünnchen an. Er springt hinein, die Not war groß, es schießt der Has die Flinte los. Des Jägers Frau am Fenster saß und trank aus ihren Kaffeetass. Die schoss das Häschen ganz entzwei, da rief die Frau, oh wei, oh wei. What the fuck did I just read? Doch bei dem Brünnchen heimlich saß das Häschenkind, der kleine Has. Der hocke da im grünen Gras, dem Fluss der Kaffee aus der Nas. Er schreint, was hat wer hat mich da verbrannt? Und hier den Löffel in der Hand. I literally have no idea what just happened.
I don't know either.
Did he just shoot the woman, or did he not shoot the woman? We have to read this in English to understand.
Yeah, we'll have to read this in English, but to me it looks so far kind of like the classic Bugs Bunny cartoon.
It kind of is that idea, but it's still weird. You read it.
Yeah. The story of wild hunting. This is the wild... Huh?
I'm gonna pause quickly because your head is being a bit dope. Okay, let's see if this works now.
Okay, hopefully so. The story of the wild huntsman. This is the wild huntsman that shoots the hares with the grass green coat he always wears, the game bag, powder horn, and gun. He is going out to have some fun. He finds it hard without a pair of spectacles. Okay. I was like, he finds it hard without a pair, huh? Alright. Text wrapping. Finds it hard without a pair of spectacles to shoot the hare. He puts his spectacle upon his nose and said, now I will shoot the hares and kill them dead. That doesn't
He's pretty hard one of those warriors.
Indeed, he is quite the hard warrior. The hare sits snug in leaves and grass and laughs to see the green man pass. Now as the sun grew very hot, and he is a heavy gun had got...
I told you. Even in German, that was even wonderful to fucking me.
I can imagine. And he a heavy gun had got. He laid down under the tree.
Nope.
To be admittedly, the gun, now that I'm looking at, is literally longer than the guy is, so I can't blame him for, getting tired. Maybe he should buy a smaller gun. I mean, he's just shooting rabbits. Come on, that's the kind of guns you go around sniping, I don't know, people with. Or elephants, maybe.
Really do that.
I don't know either. Like, I know it's not that type of gun, but just that gun barrel is freaking ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure there's no gun like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Let's see. He lay down underneath a tree and went to sleep, as you may see. And while he slept like any top, the little hare came, hop, 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 took gun and spectacles, and then softly on tiptoe went off again. I see take the gun, but take the spectacles. That's just too far. The green man wakes and sees her place the spectacles upon her face. She pointed the gun at the hunter's heart, who jumped up at once with a start. He cries and screams and runs away. Help me, good people, help, I pray.
That image is amazing, by the way. I didn't have time to look at it before, but look at him.
Yeah, I see that. The gun just looking swag with the rifle. The guy's like, no, fuck.
The guy looks weird as hell, too.
He does. Oh, jeez. Is his bag just filled with needles?
Maybe. That's what hunters do, don't question it.
Alright. Man. I like his color choice, but it looks like his arms are broken.
Maybe the rabbit did a bit more this time, mentions. I was he's the worst hunter in history. I don't know why the rabbit is even mad at him. This guy goes out to hunt rabbits and like 2 minutes later it's like, whatever, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Exactly, seriously. I've never seen a hunter more lazy. Elmer Fudd had more, like, determination than this.
You can finish his story.
At last he stumbled at the well, head and in he fell. The hare stopped short, took aim, and hark! Bang went the gun. She'd missed her mark. The poor man's wife was drinking up her coffee in her coffee cup. The gun shot cup and saucer through. Oh dear! Cried she. What shall I do? Hiding close by cottage there was the hare's own child, the little hare. When he heard the shot, he quickly arose, and while he stood upon his toes, the coffee fell and burned his nose. Oh dear, he cried, what burns me so? And held up the spoon with his little toe. What?
See, I told you that ending confused the hell out of me. I don't know what's going on.
Don't know
Is the
either.
woman sad because her husband getting shot at, or because her cup got shot? Because she seems more concerned about the whole cup thing.
She really does. But as much as I like cup, that's kind of silly.
It's like, oh dear, what do I do? My cup is destroyed. Where's my coffee now?
I know, seriously. And why is the rabbit's kid there? And why is this focus only on his nose getting burned?
I'm assuming the point of the story is supposed to be don't try harming other people or it will backfire. Like, I don't know what the message of the story is because it's like hunters get fucked.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is don't try to harm others or harm will come to you, but it's such a roundabout way. I see why I guess it wasn't boring. I guess the story is just so filled with weirdness and utter bullshit coming out of nowhere that it's hard to tell what this story is actually about.
Yeah, it's the goal of the story. At least with the other ones, even the ones that in story, at least you knew what they were trying to achieve.
Exactly. Like the next one.
Which is the next one?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
the next one is Green Bean's favorite.
Yeah, but
And mine.
this one, yeah, it's clearly gonna be the best. But this one, I don't have any words. Just let it be known that there was a hunter, and that this was probably the base for Bugs Bunny cartoons, which tell the same story 1,000 times better.
Sometimes better when I'm in German. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, even with Green Bean's laggy internet, you should stay around for the next part because that one is good.